If they do that, the Cougars will be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Wilson! Oh! And we are tied!
Let's go! Call the Phi Slamma Jamma.
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out. Report me acting ignorant.
Down, Dean Connors. Found some daylight. Found the end zone! Touchdown, Houston!
Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their 7th Final Four.
Go Cougs! Let's go! It's so good! The dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars!
Welcome into a LRC After Dark show following 8th-ranked Houston Cougars in their 77-66 victory over the 16th-ranked BYU Cougars in Provo. Big night for the freshmen all around for both Houston and BYU, but ultimately Houston's freshmen were able to help carry the Cougars over to the finish line. Kingston Flemings finished as the leading scorer for Houston, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, only 1 turnover. Kris Gardner, 16 points, 5 rebounds, and battled through foul trouble for much of the night. But we'll get into the matchup. There were stretches there where Houston, they reminded me of old Houston, a lot of the offensive rebounds down the stretch in crunch time. But welcome in everybody that's joining us, watching us live on Sunday morning, early Sunday morning here, Central Time. This is Rage Coogs presented by the Saxenian Family. Big shout out to Steve Saxenian. A big shout out to Star Pizza for being our secondary sponsor in this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. Dayon, Kris, first, how are y'all doing on this Sunday morning? And second of all, what y'all think of Houston's victory over BYU?
Solid win. Salute to everybody for joining us this morning. I really didn't have any doubt because when it came to it, I didn't believe BYU could stop Houston when Houston needed to get a bucket, and that proved to be the case. AJ DeBonsa played well, and he was efficient, so that was a plus for him. He missed a lot of free throws for him, but kudos to Khalifa Sacco. He produced. He played well. He seems to be getting more comfortable and more confident. That's a positive going forward. For balanced scoring, Kingston and Kris led the way. Good win. Great win.
Balanced scoring, balanced rebounding, tough defense, timely rebounds, timely shot making. I mean, it was a good dub. Good dub, man. I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Good dub tonight.
And Dan touched on it right there about timely rebounding. Cougs got 6. I typed it before it appeared on ESPN. Cougs had 6 offensive rebounds in the last 3:45, or the span of 3:45, late in the second half. And you could tell it kind of sucked the life out of the crowd because they were like, oh, come on, y'all, get a rebound. Get one of these. But the Cougs, they found a way to keep offensive possessions alive. And as Andy said, that's a good example of Cougar basketball down the stretch. Rebounding had been a question mark a few weeks ago. They now seem to be doing a better job crashing the boards. No word on Isaiah's injury. And I'm just going to say this honestly. We're not there. Okay, so it's going to be real hard for us to find out that kind of update unless Joseph Duarte or somebody who's at the game posts it. So apologies for that. But yeah, we're not there for that.
We're talking about this game. Really, we got to start off from the beginning. Kris Gardner and how aggressive and assertive he was for Houston. He was a big reason why they were able to jump out and build an early cushion. That I know there were stretches there towards the early second half where BYU made its run. They took a lead there early in the second half, but from that point forward, Houston was really, even though they were down, it seemed like they were in control for much of the game, and a big reason for that was that good start that they got from Gardner early on, right out the gate.
They went to him early. That's what Dayon has wanted. He got shots. He got touches. He scored on putback. He scored in the mid-post. You know, I mean, he showcased his skill set. And sometimes I wonder if folks on the staff watch this show because he got a lot of mid-range shots like that. So it's good to see. You muted, brother. You muted.
Yeah, he made some timely mid-range jumpers too, Chris. Timely, much needed. But yeah, I think getting him going early not only gets him involved offensively, but it just gives that extra spark that that we need. But big time from him. I'm really just more impressed with the balanced rebounding. I think that's I'm sure Coach Sampson and staff, as we welcome in the Fluff McKiver, top 3 in Houston all-time 3-point shooters,
With a beard now,
legendary.
the graphic, he was younger and less
Hey,
facial hair, right, Fluff?
hey, baby face, light on his feet, but Bucky, you better beware the legend himself, Big Elm City Elite. Talk to me, Fluff. Talk to me quick. Don't talk
Big
to me
Coogs, Big
slowly.
Coogs. Shouts to Elm City Elite, but they take a little back seat tonight. On that. Big Cougars tonight. We're gonna focus on the Cougars tonight. You know, big statement win. Man, it's unbelievable. To be watching the game and your picture come on there like that. You would have to know where my environment is, where I'm from. And you see that my people, everybody call and say, "Hey, bro, you on the screen." It's like when I was actually playing, I was so dived into the mission and the motion that we had at the time of what we was trying to accomplish. But to be on the other side and watch that, it's people lie and they say they don't make you smile. That made me smile tonight. I'm like, yeah, there you go, young fella. I see you out there. But shouts
Fluff,
to Sharp moving
what are your
closer
thoughts
to
on
Sasser.
Chris and Knack early going?
Say it again.
Your thoughts on Chris and Knack getting the offense going early?
Man, listen, when he hit the tray ball, that's when he hit I know y'all talking about the mid range, but when he hit the tray ball, I said, "Oh, okay, we rolling." Um, I think like you said, Chris, I think uh people are listening to our show and going back and writing things down because it is what it is. We said Kingston before the year even started. We said Chris need to get the ball. Now he getting the ball. I gotta call around and see if they watching our stuff, man, and taking some notes. But very, very, like we said earlier, he has to be a factor for us to have a chance to cut those nets down.
And everybody, Andy as well. Your thoughts on the job Khalifa did?
He was phenomenal in his minutes, just active. He looked much more comfortable with the defensive rotations, and then he had a couple of key rebounds for Houston as well as part of that late stretch when JoJo Tugler picked up his fourth foul. And he had he could have arguably might have he had an argument for it being an N one on the big putback finish. They got the entire bench jumping and hopping around. That was a big score for Houston late down the stretch when they were trying to close out BYU. But you couldn't have asked more for Khalifa Sacco, and he's done a phenomenal job these past 2 games. And now he's got to keep it going. That's the key word now when we're entering February and heading into March. It's that consistency, especially since the Cougars are about to play some of the cream of the crop when it comes to the Big 12.
Fluff,
I
I
think
saw
I'm not.
I'm sorry, Dayon. Real quick, hold that thought 'cause I want to get this. Fluff, I think I saw the question. Somebody asked you how many threes you took a game at UH. It was like 9, right? 9 threes a game. I think that's right.
About 8 or 9,
Yeah.
8 or 9 a game. Yeah,
Tom Penders.
I
That's
was
Fluff.
about a year earlier. I know everybody love Curry, and I love him too. He the man. He's the best. But I was kind of playing that style a little, maybe a year earlier. Um, I don't know why, but I tried it and they let me do it. So, yeah, about 8 or 9 though, Chris.
You got buckets because you made them at a good clip. That's why, man. All right, Dan. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Oh no, you good. I was just gonna say, just kind of talking about we got to mention the playmaking of Milos. We talked about in previous shows, and when he ain't making shots, but him when he's on ball, being able to make plays. What you guys see from Milos tonight, and him making plays tonight?
I that was great to see. I actually, you know, in a nerd type of way, see things that didn't work out. That's gonna work out if that makes sense. So, towards the end of I mean, he had a great, all around game, but towards the end of the game, he caught it on the top. I think Kingston threw it to him, and he was super aggressive, spent the lane, and he missed his shot. And I was like, damn, that's what we need you to be like that. You know what I mean? Not as far as shooting the ball, just of being aggressive and making an offensive play. I think that is huge that he keeps that mindset of facilitation and scoring, and leadership.
And I like the overall balance with the scoring, and then if necessary, Kingston, you close it out.
Yeah.
I like that,
Yeah.
Kingston. Yeah, because I really enjoyed. I guess it was Fran Fraschilla who said he noticed down the stretch that Kelvin was calling a play, Coach Sam's calling a play, and Kingston's like, "Coach, I got it. I got it." That's what Jamal Shedd used to do. Coach, I got it. It's under control. I got it. We're gonna run this play. I got it. Great to see.
They talked about Jamal too. Cougs run. The Cougars run the show. You know what I mean? They talked about Shad tonight too.
Houston
Milo
runs the Big 12.
Milo Uzan in this game had 8 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds to go along with it. I mean, once again, back-to-back nights where you look, or back-to-back games, I should say, where you look at the rebounding stats. And again, going back to my comment earlier about Houston looking like Houston, everybody that played in this game for U of H got a rebound. And looking at Emmanuel Sharp, he had 4 rebounds. Miles Uzan, he had 3 rebounds. Flemings had 5 rebounds. Mercy Miller had 2 rebounds. That and Houston as a team wins the rebounding battle again, 40-36. Like we mentioned, down the stretch, they got a key offensive rebounds that Kris, like you alluded to, really were backbreakers to BYU when they were trying to make their rally and trying to stay with it when it came to Houston. And another really area of this game that Houston took advantage, or at least they made most out of their opportunities. BYU shot 13 more free throws than Houston. They only went 16-28 from the free throw line, as Houston they went 12 for 15. So that was a key factor in the outcome of this game as well.
Fluff, as a player, as a coach, Dayon as a coach too, Andy as a coach, all of y'all. How frustrating is it when you're on defense, you force the miss, but you don't get the defense rebound and give up the offensive board?
That's the worst thing, and not the worst. It's top 3. Look at
Frustrating as
Andy shaking
hell.
his head. It's
Yeah, it's
it's
frustrating as
it's
hell.
it's top 3 because it's almost like you made all those rotations and efforts for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the key is, you know, it's unbearable. It's unbearable. That's my answer.
Well, yeah, and nothing's worse than they get an offensive rebound that leads to an N1 putback or something like that. That's a backbreaker. Those are backbreakers.
Yeah, deflating. It's deflating for
I want to
sure.
say I was, we don't tell people everything we talk about, guys, but I want to say I was wrong about something I said in the grouper. I said that AJ will only get 18. I was wrong.
Mhm.
What do you think
I
about his
was
game?
wrong
What do you
about
think?
that.
What do you think about? Do you like his game?
I love his game. I think they made a good. Point. I'm not sure if it was Fran Fraschilla or the other guy, but they was like everybody's talking about this and that, but only way to stop him is to send 3 guys at him, and we sent 2 to 3 at him all night. So I think he's need to work on his reads and things like that, but he's big time.
And he's a tough cover. And for Kris.
Yeah.
That's a different position.
Yeah,
Kris is
when you watch AJ and you watch Kris, that's a 1, 2, 3 versus a stretch four,
yes,
kind of,
right. Hmm.
you know? And them tonight, you can see the separation of, not good or bad or worse or better, just different in what they will be in the show in the NBA.
Right.
Let's take this moment to first, we have a lot of people that are commenting on our platforms. We have a good amount of viewers here for this edition of Let's Rage Coogs After Dark. So big thank you to y'all. Continue to hit us with the comments. We'll get to them in a second, but also big thank you to today's sponsors on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, starting with Steve Saxenian, the primary sponsor of not only this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, but has been each and every single post-game show after each and every single game for your UH men's basketball team. Also, a big thank you to today's secondary sponsor in Star Pizza. Big shout out to Mike and Jennifer Pittman. With multiple locations throughout the Houston area, Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game. Be sure you check them out Sunday as they are already geared up. Star Pizza cater for your Super Bowl party tomorrow. So make sure you hit them out, visit any one of their locations, and most importantly, tell them that you heard about them here on Let's Rage Coogs.
Andy, I want to say this is after dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is LRC after dark. Indeed.
Although
No,
it doesn't top,
After dark squared.
it's still, what was it? It was last year or 2 years ago, I guess now, when we had that show after the game that tipped off at 12 a.m. Central Time in
in
Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that was
Thanksgiving Day, and
that was
that's
brutal.
that's
That
LRC
was
after
brutal.
dark cube that game was. But it's always nice to talk after Houston Cougars win. That makes these shows go through.
100%.
And yeah, the thing that's funny is that it always seems like a lot of people, we have a bigger crowd whenever it's these midnight shows. So yeah, it makes it more fun because look at all these comments that are coming in here. Here 12:30 a.m. Central Time. Fluff is 1:30 in the morning in the East Coast. So big props
Yes, sir. 1:30 in the morning on the East Coast.
for
We
you
we
joining us.
locked in.
This question, for me, I Crabtree, and I saw them play earlier, and they dominated Oklahoma State. But what do you guys think? How do the Cougs match up against Arizona?
Listen, this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say. Is what's the kid's name? What's the guard's name?
Jaden Bradley.
That's
Oh,
him with the braids. He's so crazy. He's so good. I'll be like the guard with the braids. But listen, if we could offset him, never forget that Bury's is it Bury's?
Braden Burries, yeah, him too. He's a freshman.
He's
Mo
young.
Pribus, or Pete, yeah, they're loaded.
You got Mo P. You got the big. I mean, listen, if we could get two out of those three under control between Jaden Bradley, Mo P, and Burris, you know, if we could get two or three of them under control and Kingston have a big game, I got the Cougs by 5.
And it's a home game. It's part of a stretch
Yeah, I mean,
of
so
Arizona, Iowa State, and Kansas.
it's gonna be hard to beat us at home too. So as much as it's a big time game and it's so much, not so much on the line, but you know who's the best team in the Big 12? Right now we have to say Arizona from what the stats and the records show, but it's gonna be hard to beat us in Houston, Texas, February 21st.
I think we match up well. I think we match up well. I think their inside presence with they're too big, especially the one coming off the bench. I think we got to control the glass. I know it's always points of emphasis with we control the glass, not give up too many second chance points. I like the guard matchup with Bradley, Berries, Kingston, Milos, and Emmanuel. I think we match up well. I'm excited to see it.
Our
You know,
3-on-3 is I'll take our 3.
no question.
If we took, of course the question was the matchup, but I was just explaining if we could get 2. I mean, Mo P is more on the front line, and we can get Mo P under control, which I think we will. I think Tugler will have that under control. The key is him not getting in foul trouble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key, is him not getting in foul trouble. But if we could keep Mo Pete under control, I think we win that 3-on-3 on the perimeter.
Fluff, speaking of foul trouble, what did you think of? I mean, Houston committed a lot of fouls in that second half. Like, they were in the bonus very, very early in the second half. That's part of the reason why BYU got up to 28 free throws. And what did you see from Houston in some of those instances?
Just kind of late to the ball. Sometimes we get those calls called on us when we're sometimes you rotate a little late and you grab. It's like we get a lot of fouls like that too. Just a little tad too late to the play.
Kris, I see you're working on something there for a second. Well, one player that we haven't talked about yet, but he got back to his efficient productive, is Emmanuel Sharp, who had 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in this game. I mean, we mentioned it at the top of the show, just in terms of he's closing in on Marcus Sasser. He's going to be, the all-time 3-point field goal maker, for the lack of a better phrase, in program history here pretty soon. But again, he kind of gets lost just in terms of him being Mr. Consistent, Mr. Reliable for the Houston Cougars night in and night out.
I mean, the 3-point record, congratulations to Sharp for getting closer to being number 1. Is, but the true thing about Sharp is, he came back as more of a facilitator, more of a driver to the basket. He came back with a little more R&B to his game besides that 3-point shot. And I think that's why he's been, even more consistent this year. So, big salute on a 3-point, on a 3-point record that he's closing in on. But yes, let's not lose sight on how consistent he's been all season. I think that's very true.
Yeah, and like Flo just said, I think the evolution of his game was being able to attack the close out, scoring off the dribble, and just being a little bit more than just a catch and shoot player. And I think that's been tremendous for us. Along with his defensive intensity and the point of attack defense of what he provides, but just offensively, I think that evolution of him being more confident and getting it off the dribble and attacking closeouts has been vital to our success. And I think as it continues to evolve, continues to do that, you're going to have to make a lot more of those plays versus just being able to catch and shoot.
Or, even feeling like he just has to rely on that particular shot, all game.
I'm trying to upload something from Chris Baldwin, so it's taking a while longer than I thought, but we'll get there eventually.
Kris, this is a question for you. Do you remember who the last number 1 seed was to come into Fertitta Center? Morehouse Fines?
The last number 1 team to come to
Memphis.
offhand, I do not know.
University of Memphis. Derrick Rose.
I was thinking that. Is that long ago, though? We going back that far? Yeah, could be. I don't get my answer. but Because I don't think it was Cincinnati or UConn over TSU Day for that season, nothing like that. But but I can probably find out. It might take a text message or whatever. But
Derrick Rose, University of Memphis.
How what was UConn rank whenever they played Houston the year after they won the national championship?
yeah, I don't think they were number one.
There's like 4 or 5, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I think of. 4 or 5. Yeah.
Man, they posted some CDR highlights the other day. Man.
I'm just gonna say it was Auburn. Auburn, yeah, that's right. Auburn was
Oh,
number one.
Auburn. Oh,
Auburn
right.
and for when was Auburn number one? Toyota Center.
No, I don't think.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You're right. This ain't home, like at the house.
It's a hell of a question. Well, I mean, don't discount Arizona's playing Kansas on Monday. So Kansas might win that game. The game is at Kansas, I believe, right?
Yeah, those are two road.
So
I mean,
so
they're heading into the tough stretch for them as well when it comes to their conference
We
schedule.
talked about that a couple weeks ago or a week ago.
So Kansas could win. Arizona might not be the number one team coming here on February 21st. UConn lost. Illinois lost. Duke lost.
Duke lost a nail biter today tonight.
So that's 3 teams right there who were ahead of Houston in the coaches poll or whatever. Not a big deal regarding net rankings and things of that sort. More important, but conversation piece.
How about JoJo the way he played tonight? I know he got fouled out late, but he had a stretch there, especially in the second half. Where I believe he scored was it 6 or 8 of our
Yeah,
first points in that second half.
he ended the first half with that tip in bucket and then scored the first few, I think 6 points in the second half. Good to see.
I've won the rebound
fouls
ball
frustrating
more.
me.
I hate to be a party pooper.
Well, he has to stay on the floor to rebound. Got to get
I
out of foul.
know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
I had
He led us tonight with 6 boards though.
I
10
know it was
points, 6
community
rebounds.
rebounding. I got it.
It was. It
It was
was. Nah,
community
facts. It was.
rebounding
It was. No
tonight.
question.
I'm talking about when we play and we need. I think I know Andy probably has it, but I don't think Tugler has more than one. Definitely not more than 2 8 to 9 rebound games this year.
We could probably pull that up.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now in a second.
Just like a little more tenacious on the glass. We need him to be.
But I think he's getting better.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. He's getting better. He had the one stinker of a game recently, where he had zeros. But he's getting better. I think he's getting his conditioning under control. Last 5 games, 7 rebounds, 0, 5, 5, and 6.
And Fluff, to answer your question, he has 4 games this season where he has 8 or more rebounds. He has 9 where he has 7 or more rebounds.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Oh, let's discuss this. You guys are coaches. I was, kudos to the ref for not teeing up Coach Sampson right there. because the goaltender was bad. It was bad. I mean,
Yeah.
Ahmed even hit the net on the shot.
Yeah.
King's shot was going down, and he hit the net. I don't know how they missed all of that. But
They be
Kellen and
right
McKiver
there.
were just going after the ref, just going after him. He just took it, listened,
Well,
and he
that
didn't
comes from
give it to
respect.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
You
some
know,
refs, you say one thing wrong, Tech. So
man, I got a check last weekend for something like that. Like, you know, some
did you
refs,
deserve
some
it, Fluff?
refs got thicker skins than
Yeah,
others.
but did you deserve it though, Fluff? Did it motivate your
Uh,
players?
sometimes I get into preaching while I'm coaching, if that makes sense. Like it was a it was a it was a foul call, and we were up like maybe 25 points, but it was a sympathy call, and all I was explaining was that listen, this is not bitty basketball. They gotta get in that gym. They gotta work on their game. Now we at the game. If they're supposed to get the ball taken from them, then that's just what it is. So it's just kind of like, you know, uh, the refs got sensitive about that. And even at the highest level where we are with college and the University of Houston or Big 12, wherever we are, sometimes, you got to think, you have to give them some grace on this. Referees are human beings.
That's
Sometimes
right.
we forget that they're human beings and it's tough. But you think about it, they might feel sorry for the team that's down 25. It might, oh, 5. You know what I mean? Or, whatever. So that could be frustrating too. Like I can't explain it, but you could just tell when the ref is trying to keep it a little balanced and maybe the better team is getting the less calls because, the ref know that they're going to be more successful than other teams. So, they get a little sympathetic.
Deal
We
with
got
that tonight for my daughter's game. We played. Referee ended up calling the game in the fourth quarter, probably with like 6 minutes left. Other coach coming over asking me if I can ask my daughter to stop playing so physical. And it's like these little girls is grabbing and pushing and asking me, "Can you please?" I'm like, "No, no, it's fouls on both sides. I'm not doing that. No." But like Fluff is saying, like the sympathy, we're not getting less calls, and I'm like, unless we up, but yeah, they are humans at the end of the day, though.
What do y'all think about this? Coach has to find better rotation when Sharp goes out. You can't have that many non-shooting threats on the floor with Kingston.
I agree.
I agree.
That's because they loading up the box. They're gonna wall up on him.
Then they
That boy
sending
is
two at them.
dangerous in that lane.
Mm-hmm.
So, we gotta have a shooter on both sides of him. At least one side of him. Or at least, where he can see. We have to have a shooter on the floor at all times for Kingston.
Okay, but who is that when Sharp goes out? Who is that?
I didn't say I had the answer. uh, it's Hardwell or Mercy.
Yeah, I mean Isaiah knocked down a three, and he got injured. He missed a three. Mercy could do it. Mercy's getting minutes right now. That Chase got before Chase got injured. So, but I mean, Coach played 9 players in the first half, 9 or 10 in the first half.
Mercy's Terrence, man.
Not a lot of minutes, but he tightened that rotation in the second half, and it wasn't foul trouble.
You heard me, Chris?
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah. Not saying the player, saying the situation, because
Malone, JoJo.
wow, Miami of Ohio is 24-0. That
Yep.
slipped my mind. I didn't realize that.
That's an interesting comment by Hunter. He says that Mercy isn't a big enough threat.
He's not a big enough threat from three.
I think he's just a threat as a scorer, even if it's not necessarily as a catch and shoot 3-pointer. You can
If you think about it, how many catch and shoot threes guys we have?
Emmanuel,
That's
Chase McCarty, but Chase McCarty isn't as consistent. Same with Isaiah Harwell.
Same with Milos.
What are we shooting? What are we shooting?
He got good looks tonight. He just didn't knock him down.
Milos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was 2 for 5 from 3.
That's 40.
0 for 5 from 2. I mean, the team they shot 47.5% from the floor overall for the game, 50% from the floor in the second half, and that's including 2 for 8 from 3 in the second half. All right, let me see if I can get this going. This is Chris Baldwin post from Twitter. Let's see here. So Chris is at the game, everybody. Chris Baldwin, Paper City Magazine, is at the game. And so I'm going to try to load this up and then show it on the screen for everybody to take a look at. So just give me a moment here. Y'all want a full screen, or do y'all want to see it yourselves?
Doesn't matter.
Make it full screen, Chris.
All right. Let me do a couple of things. We're on four basketball, Andy. For transition.
Hold up. So that was post game. Obviously, Kelvin Sampson celebrating, the players celebrating after their win over BYU.
And kudos to Chris Baldwin for being there and providing that footage. Chris Baldwin from Paper City Magazine. Let me get all out there.
Seeing that clip, we haven't talked about it, but the key controversy from the week about Kelvin Sampson and the comment he made. It was post game on Wednesday after Houston beat UCF. I'm curious to get your thought. What do y'all think about? The choice of words that Kelvin Sampson said, calling the university poor, and then the reaction to it after, and then him having to clarify the day after.
He even set an example, in comparison to other Power 4 conferences, schools, all that kind of stuff. He didn't elaborate much when he said it Wednesday night after the game like he did later in the week. But it is factual. I touched on it during our Let's Rage Coogs that night. I referenced it. How, in terms of where we rank, there was a poll, and CNBC poll, in terms of athletic budget, out of 75 schools, public schools, universities, Houston like 73. And some of those schools, one of those schools was like San Diego State athletic budget. So that's not even a Power 4 school.
Wow.
So accurate. That was accurate. Part of that is also not full media share, but in terms of San Diego State didn't have the revenue from the American. They're Mountain West revenue So why are they ahead of Houston? So coach is accurate regarding revenue, but the full share will kick in fiscal year July 1 from the Big 12. So that will be a big help. But regarding NIL and can't pay players what they want or certain players, all those things, an example of that not paying players or being outpaid, played for BYU tonight.
Yep.
Abdul Ahmed, big fella, was one of the first guys from the G League to go back to college. He had committed to Houston. And then his people said, no, let's go take a visit to BYU. Well, who did he play for tonight? So he committed to Houston. He took a trip to BYU. BYU said, yeah, what are they offering you, whatever? Yeah, we got that. He committed like the next day. That's a tangible example right there.
They gave him an advance too
of the situation that we are in currently.
Why is that, Kris?
And it might hurt for a key player in the class of 2026 who's looking for a certain level of money that Houston does not have yet in its NIL budget or its athletic budget. This is the reality of the situation. But one thing is clear. Revenue, the Big 12 full share has been issued the first 2 years. Have not received the full share. We all know that. But Dayon knows it. Andy knows it. Fluff as an athlete knows it. Football makes college athletics go around on the Division I level.
Yes.
When you do not have great, consistent, sold-out crowds and have great, consistent season ticket sales for football games, that has a direct impact on your athletic budget.
It's true.
So that is a fact. So Dayon, he's heard me say, y'all have heard me say it for years. If we stop or continue only buying football tickets to see the opponent rather than our Cougars, then we are going to continue having limits in athletic budget. That is a fact. Other issues about Houston athletics doesn't market to the younger alums. That's another issue I think is improving. But the overriding issue is Houston football season ticket sales. Has to get better. And our fans who are watching this show, most of these fans probably have tickets. So we're preaching to the choir. It's everybody else who is an alum, who doesn't buy tickets, who hasn't bought tickets. Football stunk. I remember, Andy, when was it? How long ago was it when I told you that 5 Summer Jamma games didn't sell out?
No, that was this year.
You were shocked when I said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about how good those teams are, how much you hear about it. They had their own 30 for 30 for crying out loud, and they didn't sell out.
You know, and there are a lot of, and this is a reason complicated about it's a pro town. We know it's a pro town. Okay. But we have 300,000 alums in this area, greater Houston area. We can't get 30,000 of them to buy season tickets. That's 10%.
In the Big 12 conference, it's not like they're still asking.
And we're now in the Big 12. So now we got better teams that you want to see. That you say, well, teams. I don't want to see Memphis play. I don't want to see North Texas. Okay, well, that's not the issue anymore. So I'm done now. I'm tired of saying it. So I'll keep saying it until it's no longer true. I might be in heaven, purgatory, or hell when it ever ends, but I want it to end. We need to do better.
Yeah, to be ranked that low is, and the success we have, that's unacceptable.
But it's also a testimony to what Houston Cougars coaching staff has done basketball-wise with a limited budget.
We're still getting guys, yeah.
Yes, and still winning at a high level. What is it now? 43-5 in the Big 12. 43-5 in the Big 12.
11 straight years, 20-plus win seasons. They've lost one road game in the last, 19 road games, 18, 19 road games.
That's amazing.
Coach did say though, our players are receiving their pay of their worth. So they're not being paid less than their market value based on who they are. So that's also big.
And that's a plus. And that's one thing Coach has said to media during Zoom calls as well, that once guys get here, they're taken care of. But there are players who are in the portal, high school seniors, who are looking for bigger bags and to come here.
My question to that is, and no, I don't think any of us might have the answer, is when when people say that the landscape has changed with college basketball, and I want to really drive this home, Andy, and I want to post this for him, right? Is when we talk about the landscape of college basketball and we talk about the portal and everybody's in the media, or from dads to AAU programs to parents, whatever. What we're not realizing is there's a myth that's being promoted out here about the NIL and the portal and all these other things. What I mean by that is this, like Dayon had said, is guys are getting paid what they're worth as far as what their market value is, team to team. So what's the myth is how much you're gonna play is, and especially in the beginning or probably throughout. I'm not there. I don't know. This is not just the University of Houston. Anywhere is the guys. This is why they call it amateur too, because the guys that are at the top that get the most money, 9.5 times out of 10, they're gonna be on the floor. So I'm saying that to say, parents, when you out here and you picking the school, when you're negotiating, you should have a good mindset or a good head on your shoulder, like, whoa, those 5 are coming back. I know they probably made that last year. They're probably gonna make this year. I'm not gonna play.
Right. My child ain't gonna play.
You know what I'm saying? But we got parents, and people online are watching what's going on and going, oh, they got the 24-year-old, the 25. No. When you go negotiate, you can tell from what they offer you if you're going to play or not. That tells you everything. I mean, do I have it right, Kris? Does that make sense to us?
Yeah, it makes sense.
If you're going to negotiate and say, I'm coming to the University of North Carolina, wherever, you know what I mean? You can tell they're going to tell you what your market is. They're going to offer you what your market value is. So whoever's in the portal, whoever's coming out of the portal, whoever's coming to the team, that has nothing to do with you, because your market value is going to be where it is coming out of high school or that first university you go to.
And no, I don't drink coffee. Complicated.
That's funny. The funniest thing about these
Another
late
factor
shows.
is like Big East schools that don't have football. UConn, period. Let's say UConn.
Yeah.
They got football.
I'm talking about
I
Division
know what
I
you're saying.
football
Go ahead.
budgets. But yeah, they can have Big East schools can allocate more to basketball budget rather than football. Most of the Power One, Division I, upper echelon FBS schools who have football, their revenue sharing, their majority of their money is going to football. Like 70% is going to football. UConn, they can have 40 or 50% go to basketball. Well, if it comes down to Houston or UConn for the same player, UConn said, yeah, we can take care of that. That's not a problem. Coach Sampson said it. It's not a question of can we get the player or do we want the player? It's can we afford the player?
Right.
That's an example of it right there.
But yeah, Chris, I mean, I agree with you, but I was just saying on the flip side, people are complaining about the situation and totality, and you can just gauge it off common sense when you're
Common sense
brought in a
ain't
room
common,
and they're
brother.
like, okay, this is your number. And it's like,
Right.
there's no way that he made that last year. Okay, that means that they want you to be the ninth man.
Common sense ain't common.
Yo, that means that they want you to be the ninth man.
Right.
If they're offering you the ninth most on the team, that means that they probably want you to be the ninth man. The most you could get from ninth is to probably eighth. You ain't getting the seventh.
And that's part of why they have to do their homework and talk to people who they can trust instead of just going for that top dollar that they think is top dollar,
Right?
where their son is only going to play 10 minutes a game or 10 minutes a week. You know,
Yeah, man. You might have to take it might be a difference of $200,000 and $300,000 in a bigger role that's gonna have you making $900,000 next year more, maybe,
yeah.
with a bigger role, you know?
You know, some players, women, girls too, college players, female players too, you might get a chance to start at a program, help them win, and get in there. You're going to take less money, but as you win and play more, you're going to earn more money.
You might be at Rice and end up at Houston as a sophomore.
Yeah. You know, I
You
mean,
might
that
be
is an issue, but it's different issue, different factors. Houston's athletic budget is next to last in the Big 12, is
crazy.
one of the last in the top in the 75 public schools on the Power 4 level. So that is an issue. The full revenue share from the Big 12 fiscal year, July 1, will help, no question. And I'll have some more info to share for my YouTube members because they already know some of this stuff. I've already shared some of this stuff. And I'll just hint at it. Not hint at it. You can need to become a subscriber to find out more about and support the Roundball Review that way. All league tier or all world tier. Because there's one thing that you haven't heard about for a while is Big 12 and the revenue share agreement, the private capital agreement that was supposedly close to happening. Remember that? Almost 2 months ago now? It was close to happening.
With the cap?
And it hasn't happened since. Hasn't happened yet. I was told like days after that, yeah, they spoke out of turn. Basically. But for more details, you need to become a subscriber to Houston Roundball Review YouTube members only section. And I'll have more to share on that. Because I got to pay my bills too. Keep my lights on. This is business as well.
Exactly.
But overall, Andy, Let's Rage Coogs will be in Kansas City for the Big 12 men's basketball tournament in a few weeks.
Correct.
You know that too?
Confirmed. Luck. Well, I guess we can't put a lock. Hopefully, there's another snowstorm that hits. But perfect segue to bring in. If you are interested in helping us make that trip out to Kansas City and beyond that as well into the NCAA tournament, be sure to reach out via the email that you see on the screen. That's ragecoogs@gmail.com. Big thank you to everybody that's taking the time out of their Sunday morning to join us on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. Big thank you to today's sponsors on this show, Steve Saxenian, for being the primary sponsor. This is Let's Rage Coogs presented by the Saxenian Family. Once again, big thank you to Mike and Jennifer Pittman with Star Pizza, with multiple locations throughout the Houston area. Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game. Visit them online, starpizza.net. Check out their social media platform, Star Pizza HOU on X, Star Pizza Houston, Texas on Instagram. Whenever you go, you visit them on location. Tell them that you heard about them on Let's Rage Coogs. And once again, Coogs helping Coogs. That's the email that you see on the screen. Big shout out to everybody that has helped. Big shout out to everybody that's commented. And we'll be back Tuesday for a not so late, but
Still late.
still 10:30 plus show following Houston, Utah on Tuesday night.
And tonight's road win over BYU was the Q1, so that's important. That's a plus going forward. And with the loss of other schools, Gonzaga early in the week, Portland was big loss by Gonzaga because Portland had like almost a Q3 or a Q4 ranking, and helped Houston move up to 7 in the net. Illinois lost. Duke lost. I don't think Duke will fall very much in the net rankings at all. That's still a 1 seed. Had a question earlier from a viewer. Houston is probably still a 2 seed. They're still closer to the 2-3 line than they are the 1 seed line. Illinois' loss does help narrow the gap there. Nebraska's still up there as well. Iowa State is on a 2 seed. 2 seed line is probably Illinois, Nebraska, Iowa State, and Houston. And, that's probably the 2 there. And then guys lose, Duke, UConn, Michigan, Arizona are the 1 seeds. I don't think that will change. UConn's lost to St. John's. I don't think it'll change yet. UConn loses again. I'm not sure anybody. Fluff. Anybody else in the Big East can be UConn besides St. John's this year?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So, so if it ain't not St. John's, another time later on, I think UConn is pretty much set as a 1 seed. Arizona, of course, their tough stretch in the conference in Big 12 play starts, so they could lose a few times. And obviously, Houston beats Arizona here on the 21st. Will go a long way to shrinking that gap. Because I'm convinced the winner of the Big 12 and not the conference tournament, winner of the Big 12 regular season will be a 1 seed. So that's Houston, Arizona. It's going to be a 1 seed. I firmly believe that. So, info like that. I don't know more about Commissioner Yormark's announcement. I can try to find out from a contact high up in the office, see if he'll tell me. He might just tell me simply wait for the announcement. I'll keep prying, and maybe he'll tell me, maybe he won't. Who knows? But as I said, Fluff, he wasn't able to join us Wednesday, but he knows because he has been approved for the Big 12 tournament. But all 4 of us, once again, if you weren't able to join us on Wednesday, we were approved within 24 hours of applying for the credentials to the Big 12 tournament. All 4 of us were approved within 24 hours by the Big 12.
I mean, we're doing the right thing on this show.
Yes, no doubt. They recognize the name, they recognize who we are, and they respect what we're doing. They appreciate the grind. So that's what I'm proud of. Tiebreaker rules: if we beat Arizona head-to-head, common opponents.
It's the most important one, and they only play once this year, so that's a big one.
Yeah, head-to-head, common opponents, and that'll probably be 3rd, 4th, and 5th place, something like that. Those teams, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It might be an issue because Houston and Iowa State only play once. So which I hated. They really messed up scheduling this year, conference-wise. Houston, Arizona twice, Houston Tech twice, Houston, Iowa State twice. Coach Sampson probably would hate that, because of the matchups, but still. Be great for TV. Fluff, do you think Villanova has a puncher's chance to beat UConn? Villanova?
No.
No? Okay.
Didn't they lose today?
Villanova?
I don't remember. I know they played today, but I was watching the score and thinking about how they've fallen off.
I hope they beat them.
Sure. I hope so too.
I'm a Connecticut, but I'm a H-Town down.
Yeah. So yeah, let's wrap it up. And let me say this. I want to go first, second, whatever. I want to thank Mitch Harper from the KSL Cougar Tracks in Utah for having me a guest, invited me to be on his show to discuss the Houston Cougars angle of the Battle of the Cougs. So that segment aired on KSL. That's Salt Lake City, Utah. Thank you to him. I think I'm still going to be on KHOU Sports Extra Sunday night, 10:30 p.m., talking college basketball with Jason Bristol and the guys over at KHOU. And then Monday morning, I'll be on Houston Matters show talking Rockets. So run the gamut. Houston Roundbar Review. Since 1994, Houston Roundbar Review, local name, global perspective.
I want to give a big shout out to the Houston Cougars. And I also want to give a shout out to Emmanuel Sharp and getting closer to being the best shooter, best 3-point shooter to come through the family and the university. And I want to let everybody in New Haven, Connecticut know that I'm from the city. I played at the University of Houston. We have something special with the gym that we have and what we're creating in there. And your picture can be on the screen too if you continue to work and do the things that you need to do to be successful in life first. And basketball will follow and things will work out for you 100 times fold. If you just keep working and you keep believing and listening to your parents, it can happen for you. But shouts to the Cougars. We about to go on a run like we always do. Like we always do. And man, we're gonna finish. And big shout out to Let's Rage Coogs. Let me give a big shout out to Let's Rage Coogs and the show that we have here together. I love you guys, man. Thanks for bringing me on here. I know I say that a lot, but sometimes in family and sometimes in situations, we assume that people know how you feel. And I want you guys to know that I love being on here with you guys. And I'm a proud Cougar, humble Cougar. And, shouts to Elm City Elite. Man, we taking over the whole tri-state area, New England, whatever you want to call it. Okay? We are an issue for you and whoever you are at all times. All right? Big Elm City, big Connecticut, but it's H-Town down, coming down. Tournament is around the corner, and we're here to win. Go Cougs.
Man, we got to get Emmanuel on to talk with another great shooter with Fluff. I mean, we got to make that happen. I mean, it's destiny. It got to happen. I mean, Jeff, Conrad, we're gonna reach out. We're gonna reach out to the proper channels. But I mean, we got to make this happen. Great shooters got to chop it up with another great shooter. And so, it's just only right. But big win tonight. Big dubs, man. Great job of rebounding. Just playing Cougar basketball, man. I'm just loving the different ways, the different styles that we can win. And being led by our sensational, dapper dandy freshman, as Mr. Vital would say. You know what I'm saying? I just love this team, man. I love Coach Sampson. I love just the hard nose, the underdog mentality that he's embraced and built around this culture with the basketball program. And I'm happy to be a Cougar, man. I think it just fits well with him. And hopefully, like everything Kris talked about with the support from the football and getting all the way around financially, it got to come. It got to hit a 360. And it's going to start with us fans packing out TD Stadium, packing out for TD Center night in, night out, no matter who the opponent is. I mean, Cougs in town, and it's going down. Support us. Always go Cougs.